All right, welcome to our first edition of our CoachWinners.com podcast for players. I want to talk a little bit today about just the fact that most players are putting together a plan for their postseason. You know, how am I going to get better? How am I going to improve my playing time? I'm going to improve my game, obviously, so I can improve my playing time. And some observations from me as a coach, personally, and also watching kids go through the recruiting process at various different levels, NCAA basketball, junior college, all that stuff. Body language is hugely, hugely important right now. And I know most of you guys that are out in your travel AAU teams, you just finished the April circuit, and hopefully some college coaches were in the gym. And you're going to go out and you're going to do that again in July. And between now and July, you're going to try and do whatever you can to increase your role on your high school teams. And it cannot understate how important your body language is towards making that impression, a positive impression on whether it be your high school coach or maybe some college coach that's in the gym with you. And my experience is this. There's first of all, I won 73% of my games as a high school coach. I was never going to tolerate bad body language from any of my players. I'd rather lose, to be honest with you. It just wasn't the impression. I didn't want people to walk away with the impression that that was allowable, that that's what we were okay with, and that's who we were. And so we just basically always squashed it. We just put a stop to it. Now, I see kids who react sometimes in what appears to be a negative way on the court, and I've heard the argument, well, he's just really hard on himself. Well, he or she needs to be aware that people are forming their perceptions based on your body language. So, your negative reaction to a call or a missed shot or a teammate not finding you when you're open is open to interpretation by the person who's viewing it. So you really have to be aware of that. It does affect people's opinions of you, whether that's who you are or not. It's perception is reality to most people. So a few lessons over the years. I've actually seen Division I football players in the gym to watch one of my basketball players play. Obviously, they're not, to some extent, they're looking at their athleticism, things like that, but they're also really looking at other things. What are the intangibles? What is his attitude like? Does he respect, his coaches? Is he a good listener? Is he a leader? How does he react when things are negative on the basketball court? And just the opportunity to see that up close and personal. I've had Major League Baseball scouts call me and talked about players who were players that are considering drafting, and they want to do their homework about anything and everything, including attitude, and they've even shown up to a game before to watch a former player play. And, you can bet they're looking at the same stuff: attitude, coachability, all of those things. In the college recruiting process, coaches want to see how you react to adversity. The fact that you had a bad game, let's say they show up in your high school gym during the season and they're watching you play, and the fact that you had a bad game in terms of you didn't make shots or you didn't score a lot, if they're in the gym to watch you play, they're probably pretty in tune to what you can and can't do physically, and probably watching how you react to it. Sometimes they want to see how you react when you have a bad game, when your team's getting blown out, when it's just a rough night. Are you the type of person, or do you possess the type of character that they want? And what you have to remember at the college level is this could be a program that's going to invest not only a lot of time, but a lot of money in you. And as a coach, whether or not they continue to have a job may depend on their decision to offer you a scholarship or not. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind that at the high school level, somebody is forming an impression of you every time they see you, and I think it's easy to lose sight of that. So be careful. Have positive body language. Bring energy. Coaches love high energy guys who are positive, and maybe just pay a little more attention to your body language as you go through the high school summer season here in June and back to AAU ball in July, and understand that sometimes you have the opportunity through adversity to show people a lot of great things about yourself. Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the first edition of our CoachWinners.com podcast. We'll be back with plenty more to come.